Trying the left side, at the 5, stiff arm, touchdown! The tank for 6, and the Jaguars have the lead.
To number 4, Tank Bigsby, as the Jacksonville Jaguars go to Nashville and come home with a victory, their 3rd of the year. We're talking about it tonight from Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach on Jags Report Live.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
I told you, last night, I told you again today, you can't get to 5-0 unless you get to 1, okay? All right, so, hey, check the box. Check the box. We got to go back to work, so we got another one coming next week.
Hey, you can't get to 5-0 unless you get 1-0, and the Jacksonville Jaguars celebrated with a big Duval chant yesterday in the locker room, courtesy of Doug Peterson. We're going to talk about that and the victory right now. We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
All right.
Doing good.
How we doing?
Doing lovely.
Congratulations. Boy, it's good to win again. I'm sure it felt that way in the locker room. Just talk to me about the after feel. We'll get into the game, but had to be an uplifting experience. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while, but also get back in that groove of winning games. It feels good. So like we say now, we're just trying to go 1-0 every week.
Yeah.
Carry it out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, how big has that push been in practice these last few weeks? I know it's easy to kind of get down. You lose so many games in a row, but Doug said it in the locker room. You got to get the 1, and then you go from there.
Yeah, so for us, I feel like the chemistry amongst each other in the locker room, I feel like it goes a long way, and we do it for each other. So I feel like that's what keeps us going every day.
I mean, it's a low-scoring game. You're walking in that halftime, and it's 3-0. The lowest scoring first half in the NFL this year. What's the feel? Are you guys like, we can't let them in the end zone, man?
As a defense, that's always the goal. You always want to shoot for a shutout, and I feel like as far as touchdowns, that's what we did yesterday, even though we still had a few mistakes here and there. But they didn't score any touchdowns other than the field goal, so it was a great feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, walk me through those big 4th down plays. I mean, you had so many of them in the 4th quarter that Jaguars had to get a stop to get the Titans off the field.
Yeah, that was major. For the simple fact that that's something that we've been struggling with on defensive end all throughout the year, and I feel like that was the moment for us to go ahead and get it right. Even though the record says that we don't have anything to play for, we feel like we still have a lot to play for.
Would you mind at this point demonstrating your clothesline tackle on the goal line? We'll let you do that on Stuart here. We'll have Stuart here. You're here. Just reach out and rip his neck off like you did on that play. That was a heck of a football play, by the way. So good.
Thank you.
I mean, and was that just instinct and strength taking over? What? Tell me about that play, because that was a heck of a football play.
So what was going on in my mind on that play? I got a down read from the tackle. So if I got a down read, I was supposed to chase out the butt of the tackle, and he turned back on me. So I wanted to go inside gap, but once I seen the running back starting to bounce it back to the outside like he did earlier in the game, I just kind of shrugged off the block and put through my whole body to make sure he didn't get in the end zone.
He's a strong young man, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to do what's called changing the topic here before we get any crazy ideas in our heads. Let's talk about Jarian Jones and that breakout performance for him. It's a crazy thing, right? Last game, gets ejected for throwing a punch. Instead of kind of apologizing for it in media availability that week, he leans into it, gaining the love from Duval Nation, and now he goes out and has a big game, which is only going to solidify that even more.
Man, Jarian, he's one of those ones that came in ever since OTAs and camps, and you could tell he brings that fire with him every day. If it's in practice or just in the meeting room, he's one of those high-energy guys, and I feel like he's coming out of that rookie phase to where he's played enough throughout the year, and he's making some big plays for us.
We got some young guys out there playing, which is nice. Look, it's the time of the year. We're 3-10. We're not going to the postseason. I know you want to win as much as you possibly can, but it's also a good chance to get a look at some of these guys for the future. You're going to be here for a while, so we got to get some football players around you who can also excel. So what's that like, and how can you help them now that you're a grizzled veteran?
For me, like I said, we have a lot of good younger players. Like I say, I'm practicing with Mason every day. He's one of the ones that I get to see every day, go through his techniques and things like that. But I feel like as long as we just continuously grow the bond amongst each other in the locker room, and that'll carry over into the upstairs and to everyone else in the organization, I feel like we'll be a great organization.
Mm-hmm. It is a victory Monday, and even today, the Jaguars still talking about that win on Sunday in Nashville.
I said it all last week. Obviously this season is tough, but guys are still committing. Guys are still buying in. Guys are still coming here every single day trying to make it right. And you reap a good harvest if you don't give up. So yesterday was a great win for us, and we're going to look to continue to finish and see what we can do in these next 4.
Our guys, they fight to the end. They don't quit. They battle. Yesterday we were able to make the plays right at the end of the game. Defense stepped up huge at the end, and that was really good to see. I think it gave the guys a lot of confidence. It will give them a lot of confidence moving forward.
All right, we're at Strings, and we got beer for everybody here tonight. Oh, what's going on?
Maybe not everybody.
Victory Monday. We're drinking and enjoying and having a good time. Maybe not for the kids, though. We'll give them Coca-Colas and such.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. A joyous occasion here at Strings, and I'm sure the locker room had to be up, had to be smiling a little more than maybe the last couple of weeks. Tell me about the mood there today. Is everyone kind of reported to work on those nicks and cuts and get ready for the next week?
Yeah, a lot of the guys got back in earlier today. We're late in the season, get back in the training room, get their body right. But right after the game, everybody was real excited. Adrenaline's still going.
Yeah.
You feel that. They wanted to dance around a little bit in the locker room.
Is there a sigh of relief too? Like, oh, thank God. I mean, we gotta find a way to win, and you were able to do it. It wasn't pretty, obviously, but you're able to find a way to get a win.
Most definitely. It's just one of those ones that nobody wants to go on a losing streak how we did, and we know we're a better team than that. So just to get that one win, I feel like that can spark us a lot.
So the game plan worked on Sunday. Now, can they do it again next week?
It's time for the game plan, sponsored by Everbank.
All right, so the challenge is to keep it going, right? You can't go 5-0 until you go 1-0. Now we got to try to go 2-0. Another week, another team. This time you get to play in front of the home fans, which would be fun. You got Aaron Rodgers coming to town, which would be neat. You want to sack Aaron Rodgers. You want to get him one time. That's one to put up on your wall, man. You want that picture of you sacking a Hall of Famer, right?
Most definitely do. That's been one of the players I always wanted to play against for my whole career, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you got to meet him up close and personal.
Yes, sir.
Say hello to him when you're knocking him down.
Definitely. It'll be special in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, we take a look at the rest of the schedule here for this upcoming season. We've got 4 games left, 4 opportunities for these players to go prove themselves and put some good stuff on tape, starting with the Jets this Sunday back at the bank. And, Trayvon, you said it. I mean, to do it at home is going to be important.
Yeah.
And we'll get to why in just a second. But to get after Aaron Rodgers and to go and do what you need to do will be big at the bank.
Yes, it will. Like you say, the home crowd, we love to feed off of that energy, especially get third down. And, we just feel that energy to be able to give us that little extra juice that we may need. But a lot of times I feel like we don't. But just being at home is very special. It's
a good challenge for you, too, because this offense is much better than the one we played yesterday. Just to be frank, I mean, they got some talent out there. They got good running back. They got good receivers. And they got, obviously a Hall of Fame quarterback who maybe not is playing as well as he used to, but nonetheless, they are loaded on offense.
Yes, sir. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, he's coming off of one of his best games of this season. I feel like he was kind of in I wouldn't say a slump, but it wasn't the Aaron Rodgers that we know. So I feel like he's going to come out firing, and that's what us on the defensive end just had to continuously do what we did this week, which is hold him from scoring any touchdowns.
So way back in Week 5, Jaguars unveiled the throwback jersey. This will be take 2. You guys won against the Colts. What did you think of the throwback? And now, hey, you get to go wear it again this Sunday.
Man, I love the throwback. My whole mindset on wearing a throwback was just putting on for the legendary players the players that came before me in Jacksonville. And I feel like that's what I did that game, and just being able to put that uniform back on again this week, I feel like we just got to come out and make those plays again.
Trayvon, some guys are uniform guys and some guys aren't. Do you look, I like this combination, I don't like this combination? I mean, does it bother you? I mean, how do you feel about it? I never can remember what everybody's wearing, but some guys pay attention to that stuff.
I really wouldn't say I pay attention to the uniforms we wear, but if it is a crazy combo that I'm not feeling, I'll probably let somebody know, whoever made the decision to choose that combo. But I feel like it's a great one this week to being able to represent.
All right, good stuff here with Trayvon Walker on Jags Report Live. Much more still to come, including an interesting promotion by the NFL. Is Barton Homer getting the field tonight?
Oh.
It is. We'll talk about that coming up next right here from Strings Sports Brewery in Jax Beach.
Yeah!
It's Jags Report Live.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Go.
He's a friend to all except opposing quarterbacks. Trayvon Walker visiting with some of the fans here at Strings Sports Brewery. We're hanging out on a Monday night. It's Jags Report Live. We're celebrating a victory finally, which is a lot of fun here. Jaguars beat the hated Tennessee Titans. I think it was the 60th time, Stuart, that the two programs have met. So always good to beat Tennessee, no matter where, no matter how. You like that victory, and that was a cool thing. Doing it in Nashville is extra special because we have been there many a time, and it's not been fun. Yeah. And speaking of that game yesterday, defense was awesome. But I want to take you to our drive of the day, and we'll explain it. First, though, let's introduce it. It's our drive of the day.
The drive of the day is sponsored by Ford F-Series. Test drive one at your local Ford dealer today.
All right, so Trayvon, despite having a 10-6 lead with there's 48 seconds left here, they got a timeout. We got to get a stop. I think your secondary played one of the best games of the year. They had a lot of PBUs, I thought, yesterday.
Yeah, they definitely stepped up, made some big plays at the end of that game. Good coverage, and obviously we was trying to get there up front, but they did that thing on the back end by holding them up. Yeah, Will Levis went 0 for 4 on those last 4 plays, and he wasn't able to get anything done, and that led to it's always good when you go on the road and you hear the boos come down for the home team, because that means you just done good. Got to love that extra motivation. Yeah, for sure. And this was the last one, the 4th and 10 you just saw there. So good performance. You guys got after Will Levis pretty good yesterday. I mean, your partner put a hit on him. I thought was crippling. That was amazing. He ain't playing anymore, but he came back. I give him credit because that was tough. Yeah, he's definitely a tough quarterback. He's one of those muscular guy, but I felt like that hit that Josh laid on him. He did have good arms. It kind of left a stinger on him for the rest of the game. Yes, he did.
He was definitely looking out for 41 left and right the rest of the game. All right, Trayvon, growing up, Simpsons fan at all? Did you watch the show?
I watched it a little bit, but I was more of a Cleveland show fan than the Simpsons.
Yeah, okay, like it. Tonight, the NFL is headed to Springfield for this matchup between the Cowboys and the Bengals, a big one in the NFL landscape. But Simpsons mode for tonight's game. Do you love it when they do kind of these offshoots, these random things that are getting this new audience involved?
I do love it. One that I can remember was when we played in London. I want to say it was my rookie year. They did the Toy Story theme, and then we had a Toy Story themed celebration with a defensive touchdown. So
funny you should mention that because there it is. Remember that? Yeah, that was big. There you guys are. There are you two right there, 41 and 44.
Want to remember.
You like that, huh?
Sure.
Pretty good stuff.
Speaking of celebration, you mentioned the Toy Story celebration that the Jaguars did in that one. Minnesota Vikings have really stepped up the game.
How about this one?
Taking a look at it, the Vikings from the movie with the Wayans brothers, just you watch it first full through. I mean, there's a lot of choreography going into this, and then
impressive.
We'll show you the side-by-side in just a second from the movie. Like, they nailed this thing.
They did.
Yeah, it's from the movie White Chicks. Look at this. Look at it. Perfect.
No, they had to watch that over like 2-3 times before they went out there and did it.
I think I'm going to go more than that.
More than likely.
I'm curious about, like, after a game, when do you play it back in your head, your own play? Do you watch film? Do you like to watch film? Do you look at from just yourself? You just played it, so did I have a good game? Did I do this right? Did I do that right? How do you play that back in your head after a game?
So for my plays, I like to say I like to go back and watch it. I watch all the games as soon as the game is over with. Kind of when it might still be some emotion into it, but then most of the emotion is gone away. So when I'm going through the film and just see myself making plays, that just helps me get back to me being like that player that I know I am and go out there and make plays.
And then you go to a Monday and you go into your position rooms. Is that when you review it? How does that work?
Yeah, so Monday I may rewind the tape a little bit, but Mondays 9 times out of 10 I'm trying to go ahead and get a jump start for this next week. Start preparing.
It really is one of those amazing things with technology where we're on the buses back to that team plane and they're handing the players iPads so that they can go and look through their individual plays.
Yeah.
That way you can it's still kind of fresh on your mind, so you know the plays. You don't have to have the play calls on the top of the film, and just being able to go through it with a clear mind. I feel like by that point you had a time to settle down.
And like sometimes, like they were talking to Josh in the locker room yesterday, and they asked him about your play down the goal line, and he didn't know because he was on the other, so he was. I'll look at it later and see what happens, but that's kind of neat. Like, some of you guys, you don't know everything that's going on down there. You're down there with a bunch of big old dudes fighting them.
So many moving pieces out there. You just try to do your 111. Then as you go back and watch the film, you kind of piece everything together and make sure everybody was on one accord.
All right, good stuff. We had some players doing their 111th and getting the job done, and we feature him coming up next on a little Sunshine and Rainbows, even though the president of the Sunshine and Rainbows Club, he's not here today, Brent Martineau, but we will certainly give some Sunshine and Rainbows coming up next right here on Jags Report Live. Ooh, what are we cooking up today? Oh, that looks tasty.
Bring a couple slabs of that over here. We'll get busy.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah, it's time for a little Sunshine and Rainbows, and I'm going to give a guy who played next to you yesterday, Mason Smith. He got a lot of snaps. I saw him make a nice tackle. He had a good game. I thought, as we go down the line, I thought Cole Van Lanen, in some tough circumstances, he gets up Sunday morning, he says, all right, I'll be the backup today. I probably won't play much, maybe a couple special team snaps. No, you're starting our guys out sick, so I thought he did a good job, right?
Cole definitely stepped into a big role, not being unexpected. Wake up that morning, nobody had an idea Anton wasn't playing, but Cole, he's been one of those guys that I go against personally every day in practice, and I feel like he went out there on the field and showed it.
And then, Trayvon, I put this kid up because I like this sign. Sign of
the
the day
epitome of Sunshine and Rainbows
up there in Nashville, so I don't know who he is, but he said there can be miracles if you believe. He believes in you. He believes in the Jaguars, and his belief paid off with a nice victory up there in Nashville. As we welcome you back to Strings Sports Brewery, Dan Hicken, Stuart Weber. Trayvon Walker's who they're here to see, though, and we're going to allow you to brag a little bit on your dogs. By the way, I had him plus 2.5, so well done. But Georgia against Texas, that was a heck of a game. And
that was a big game. Obviously, it was second time playing them. It's always hard beating a team 2 times in the same season. I feel
these are the guys you get to brag against, by the way.
He avoided me the whole week in the locker room. He know how he's hearing that now, though.
No bets?
Nah, we can't do that. No bets.
I mean, you can make him wear something.
He didn't even want to do that after the first time.
That's a good point. You guys went out there and handled them pretty well. It was a great game for Georgia. And you win the SEC. Listen, there's Champ, Folkeston's own. Love Champ. Hey, yeah, shout out. Listen, anytime you win an SEC championship, that means something, right? I mean, it's about rings. It's about championships. It's about banners. I love winning SEC championships.
Oh, yeah, winning SEC championship is major. For going to Georgia, that's the goal at the end. Everybody wants to play for a championship, play in that environment, make it to Atlanta, and that's a great environment to play in. I feel like all athletes should want to be in that.
Plus, you can't let Texas come in and win the first time, right?
You can't do that. Me and my dad was talking about that.
There's enough other conferences where that happened. I mean, Arizona State goes in and wins the Big 12. Oregon goes in and wins the Big 10. SEC had to defend the SEC, and Georgia gets that job done. It was a weird thing, right? You have the SEC championship, but you kind of had a feeling you're going to be in the playoff, the 12-team playoff, no matter what happened. Both teams in it. And let's take a look at that bracket. We're excited. We're excited to get college football, a full 12-team bracket, Indiana, Notre Dame. Your thoughts on that matchup, Trayvon, as the future opponent for your Georgia Bulldogs?
And I think, me personally, the 12-team playoff is kind of different to me. I don't really like it per se, but that's college, so I really can't dwell on that too much. But I just want the Dogs. I'm rooting for the Dogs all the way to win a national championship, and all the teams that made it, congratulations to them.
One thing we were talking about at the break, man. College football, big business now, and they are really starting. I heard Bill Belichick today. He interviewed for the North Carolina job, and he's looking at it like if I go to North Carolina, it's going to be a lot like it's going to be a training ground to get guys ready for the National Football League. Makes a lot of sense.
The way I look at college now, I look at it just like free agency for the NFL. It's a lot of money involved, and sometimes the kids just have to dig deep down inside and just, are they really still into the game of football? And
it would have cost a lot of money back in the day in Athens.
I want to cost a lot of money because I never was one of those people. I played it for the love of the game.
All right, good stuff here with Trayvon Walker. We continue on Jags Report Live, taking one more break. When we get back, we wrap this thing up. Oh, the crowd is having a good time tonight.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right. Oh, the jerseys are out. Big number 44 is in the house tonight with us. A lot of fans are here to support you, Trayvon. Duval's still fighting, still hoping. Now, all right, so we got the Jets coming up. Now, this talented team. They haven't had a good year either. Don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's the same Aaron Rodgers, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. And like I said, Garrett Wilson, they got some pieces on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, the Jets, they're a pretty good team. They got a lot of great pieces. They're kind of in the same position that we're in.
Yeah.
Just got to put it all together and play as a unit, special teams, offense, and defense.
Quinnen and Quincy Williams will be down here as well. And
great players.
Yeah.
Great players. But we also have great players as well, so I think we're going to get the job done.
All right, well, I look forward to it.
You and Josh continue to have your season-long sack battle. Now, Josh goes and gets one this last game. Any talk about that between you guys?
Josh going to get that sack this week. It was major for him. I know he's shooting for the, I want to say it's the all-time record.
Yeah, team record, franchise record.
3 more that he has to get, and me and him, we're going to always compete. He brought me in, so I feel like I learned from one of the best to do it in the game. So I just want to continuously push him as I go get my sacks as well.
2 very important pieces of this puzzle going forward for the rest of this year, and obviously going forward in Jacksonville are you and Josh Hines-Allen. You are the 2 guys that are going to have to lift this defense back up to greatness.
Most definitely. I feel like anytime you can affect the quarterback first, you got to stop the run. But once you get the passing the ball and you can affect the quarterback, I feel like that plays a major role. Help the guys on the back end as well, and the guys up front doing their job.
He's Trayvon Walker. He's Dan Hicken. I'm Stuart Weber, and that is Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery in Jacksonville Beach. Thanks so much for joining us for another Victory Monday.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.